Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on my channel. If you're new, welcome to the family. I'm super happy to have you here. If you've been with us for a while, cool. I'm hoping this is a new tip for you for those of you who are on the go mamas, or if you're, not a mama, but you're just on the go. I know I was talking to some women over this weekend. I was at a leadership retreat in Florida, and we were talking about the best time to do your makeup. Like if you don't just want to roll out of bed and go to work, but you might want to put on a couple items to make you look less tired. And this topic came up because we were away from our families and taking advantage of it. So when we woke up in the morning, we looked a little less awesome than normal. And we were, short of time, and we were trying to sleep in. So what are some products that we can use that will make us look put together, kind of like that airbrushed look, covering up the dark circles and all of that when we don't have a lot of time. So we were just sharing different things, and I learned from the sales director with my company how to really apply foundation so that it looks kind of airbrushed, and you don't have that 90s jawline orange and white. You remember that? I remember that. I think it was like necessity. If you didn't have that orange line there, you were doing something wrong. Well, now we know that that is not necessarily what we want our face to look like. So I want to show you a new technique that I learned that helps give you that airbrush look. And this is with a product that is really, really good for your skin. And as it sits on your skin, it kind of melts in, and it doesn't block pores, and it doesn't cause acne, and it doesn't have it doesn't have any. It's 90% organic, and then the other 10% is natural elements from the earth, but they can't be deemed organic just because of the way that we harvest them, like zinc oxide. And zinc oxide in our foundation is important because SPF is so important on your face because you don't want premature aging, I hope. I mean, I don't want premature aging, so I'll put on some SPF up in here. Did you hear that? Is the military doing something, or are my children going crazy? I'm gonna bet that it's the children going crazy. So our foundation, the liquid kind, is SPF 20, which is about, that's a good amount that's going to protect your skin from UV rays that can cause some damage to your skin. So this one is liquid foundation. This is Fawn. I'm actually a maple right now, but I only have the small size of maple. So this is what you would see if you were to purchase the liquid foundation. A little bit less goes a long, long way. This is the one I used all summer. Beginning of summer. This was probably when did I get this? March to July, and I used that much. This is a brand new bottle. So a little bit goes a long way. Just one pump is typically all you need, unless you need like a super opaque coverage. If you've got acne or discoloration or any blemishes, you might want to do 2 full pumps for a total opaque coverage. But I'm just going to do the equivalent of 1 pump. And the new technique I learned, I'm super excited about, it's using a brush instead of a sponge. And let me just tell you why. So I really love our blending sponge. It's a really nice shape. It's able to get right up in under the eye and on the nose area, but it was, even when I sprayed it first, I noticed that I was getting kind of a cakey look in this area. I don't know why, but I was. And I discovered that if I use the big poofy foundation brush, it covers really, really well. So let me just show you. And if you start around the center of your face and kind of buff it out, then you don't get any defined lines, but you get super coverage. So rather than me telling you about it, why don't I just show you? So I put mine in my lid, but if I were you and I were using the pump, I would just put a pump on my hand, or if you have a palette, go ahead and use your palette, and then just kind of dipping your brush in, just getting a little bit and tapping around your face. So you're tapping around and you're blending it in, and you're starting in that center area, because as we get older, we tend to get broken capillaries around our nose, and our pores tend to get larger, and all of those amazing things happen as we get older. But it's mostly to the center of our face, which makes sense because as you get older, it doesn't matter what age you are, when you're walking around doing anything, you get environmental toxins on your skin. So air and water and everything, but your nose, the areas that stick out further than other parts of your body, get more exposure than the rest. So it makes sense that our nose tends to age a little bit quicker than the rest of our skin. So we're starting there and then buffing around. And that was a tiny bit of product that I used. Notice I'm going on my eyelids as well, because I'm going to show you just three products that you can use that give you kind of an airbrush look, a nice finished look, and it is super, super quick. So that's all I did. I started at the center and then I'm buffing out. I am gonna put just a tiny bit more on my chin, just a tiny bit more on this area, because I am coming to that time of the month and I did notice that I've got just some, they're not really pimples, I guess, just irritations that I don't like the looks of. So I just put a little bit there, and again, I'm buffing it down. No more orange lines, guys. We blend it in. So you're looking, and you're not going to see any lines. It's just going to look like this is my skin. The only thing is our foundation is opaque coverage. So I no longer have pink tinted cheeks, which is something that I desire. So I'm going to take our foundation, so I'm going to take our mineral blush and a blush brush. So I like the angled blush brushes just because it kind of gets where you want it. With ours, they are minerals. They are loose minerals. You can see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it upside down into the lid. And one thing I recently learned, gosh, I learned so much at this leadership retreat. One thing that I learned is that you have to warm up the minerals first to really help them smoothly glide and apply onto your face. So you literally just swirl it around in the lid, the minerals, with your brush, tap it off, and then when you apply the blush, it goes on kind of like a cream. So these minerals that are the color, the pigment in the color of the blush, they kind of just melt onto your skin, which is what you want. You don't want a big glob of minerals going on your skin. So it is important to warm it up first. And that applies for our powder foundation, for our eyeshadows, all of that. If you warm it up first in the lid, and you'll notice all of our eyeshadows have that lid, and you can warm it up in there, then you'll get that cream-like application. And that's what I'm going for. So I don't want a very large amount of blush. It's more like, look at me, I'm alive. I don't just have one color on my skin. So I start kind of where I would normally see a little pink if I went out in the cold and my pink cheeks happened. I want that. I just kind of want to accentuate that because I'm going for the natural look. I am a mama and a homeschooler, and I probably won't even leave the house again today. I went to yoga this morning. I might go grocery shopping later, it depends. I think I'm going stir fry for dinner, so I've got veggies here and rice here. So that's that. That's product number 2. I have now made myself look alive. And the last, did I say 3 products? The last thing I want to apply, ooh, no, not yet. I'm gonna use that blush again, because that's one thing that I really like to be able to do is take multi-product uses. So I'm gonna dump a little bit more. Notice the lid. So you have like the shaker top. I'm gonna dump a little bit more in the lid. The reason I'm putting it in the lid first is because I want to warm it up. And when I have it in the lid, I can just kind of swirl my brush around. I've just got a shadow brush, swirling it up, warming up my minerals. And once you get the minerals warmed up, you just put a little bit, I like to tap it, a little bit on the lid. And it kind of just gives you that warm glow. So I'm not going to go too heavy. I like pinks with hazel eyes because it helps the greens really pop. And I like to use the blush on my eyes when I'm in a hurry because, well, it's already open and it's right there and I'm kind of lazy. So if I'm in a hurry and I only need a few products in my makeup area, then these are the 3 that I'm going to use. It's the foundation, the blush, and this is the color Coral. The foundation I have again is Maple. But in the summer, I'm more of a, or in the, I guess, coming soon. So living in North Carolina right now, actually it's cold today, but normally it's 50s, 60s, and I go on vacation. So I get a little bit of sun, and then I get kind of pale, and then I start getting dark again in like July, August, which is interesting. But, so that's 2 products so far, and the last thing I'm going to use is our organic mascara. You can get both black or brown, and I'm just going to use black and one simple coat. It's like you're bringing your kids to dance class or something like that, and You don't want to look like a hobo, which I typically do, but noticing the difference already, mascara eye versus known. I'd rather just have some mascara on and look a little more finished, and that way, like earlier, my neighbor came by and I was thankful that I had showered and brushed my hair, because I'm like, well, at least I don't look, I mean, she knows I'm not homeless because she was knocking on my door, but at least I don't look like I did when I first woke up this morning. So that's it. And it's a quick look, 3 products: foundation, my blush, which the coral blush doubled as a blush, and an eyeshadow, and then the black mascara. And now my eyes look brighter, my skin looks more airbrushed and flawless, and not that I want to look flawless all the time, but sometimes I want to look good. My husband come home and I have a dinner ready and I look sexy. Sometimes. That's very rare. Sorry, honey. Anyway, thank you for joining, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.